Hi everyone, and welcome to the Grillo Gait Trainer introduction. My name is Martino Vellis, and I'm glad to introduce you into the Grillo presentation. I'm a physiotherapist and the training manager of Ormesa, an Italian company which is involved in assistive technology since 1980. Let me introduce a short Ormesa company video, just to show you who we are. Grillo is a gait trainer for children and adults designed to ease the walking of those with reduced mobility and to promote as much autonomy as possible. The main features of Grillo which make it unique are versatility, modularity, and adaptability. Versatility allows Grillo to switch both configurations, front drive and rear drive, using the same frame and the same components. Every user is different, so first of all, it's important to figure out what is the best layout frame during the assessment. Grillo can give you this opportunity. Modularity means that it is possible to fit different supports, components, and accessories, adjusting them very easily according to the user's needs. And all the adaptations are user-friendly, since you don't need any tools for all the supports adjustment. Adaptability because Grillo can be used in different environments, both indoor and outdoor, either flat floor covering or uneven ground as well as grass. These features give freedom and autonomy to the users, so they can discover by themselves what happens around them. We're going to show these three features more in detail. Let's check them out. Changing the frame's height is quick, stepless, and precise. Squeezing the green knobs allows to activate two gas springs, which can adjust the height very smoothly and gently, but stably and safely. The patented mechanism keeps the center of gravity always on a vertical axis during the frame's height adjustment, since there's no movement of the trunk and pelvis supports at the same time, neither forward nor backward, while you're arranging the height. That's why the drop of the center of gravity remains in a safe position inside the frame. And that means safety, balance, stability, and reduced frame's length, and thus more maneuverability and smoothness during walking. A trunk and a pelvic supports are available to contain trunk and hips in order to prevent the shifting on the front plane. Both of these supports are adjustable in height and width. Furthermore, the trunk support is adjustable also in angle and depth, and that is very effective because sometimes, especially when the users are not able to start walking by themselves due to a strong spastic pattern, pushing the trunk just a little bit forward with the support adjustment can help them following their center of gravity. In that case, this posture is very physiological. It holds the lower limbs straight and with a minimum forward bending trunk, like all of us do to start walking properly. When the user has developed a good trunk's axial control, it can be possible to widen the containment to observe the resulting attitude, and then, if it is possible, remove it to allow even any physiological oscillations. Three options are available to give the right support under the user's bottom: either the harness or the ergonomic saddle, as well as the proximal abductor. Each one can provide different help. The harness works properly, especially supporting the inclination of the pelvis, since it is adjustable independently side by side. The ergonomic saddle works helping the user to reduce the hips flexion thanks to the strips, which can be tightened, pushing forward and extending the pelvis. The proximal abductor can keep the hips a little bit abducted, when it is important to prevent the femoral head dislocation. Fitting the upper limb's position is very simple, thanks to different options. The unique handle, the arm prompts, the ergonomic and removable handles. For each solution, a great variety of adjustment is possible. If you need to avoid the lower limbs to cross during walking due to a strong spasticity of the adductors muscle or dyskinetic movements, two options are available: the leg divider and the leg divider with calf strap. Both are effective to prevent the crossing. However, the second one is more than a divider. It is a guidance which can stabilize the steps. The soft pads wrapped around the calves or thighs have 3 degrees of freedom that follow every step, both in the stance and in the swing phases. The wheels are interchangeable, whether the caregivers have to switch the front drive configuration to the rear drive and vice versa. The front wheels are swivel, but they can be locked to roll just straight. And the rear wheels have the parking brake, the drag brake, and the anti-reverse. Grillo is equipped with ergonomic components, so at every step it can guarantee safety, stability, containment, and support. It is available in 4 sizes. User height from 75 centimeters up to 1 meter and 90 centimeters, both front and rear drive versions. It sets extremely high standards with regards to customization and ease of use, thanks to a wide range of adjustments and available supports. At the beginning of my presentation, I told you about versatility. Grillo's usage lets you free to choose the best fitting configuration for the users. Using the rear drive, for example, allows the users to walk in the space without a frame in front of them. Children are free to approach different things to handle and people to get into relationship face to face, so they can improve social interactions, very important to improve the cognitive skills. Or you can start using the front drive, giving a feeling of more protection, since the frame surrounds the trunk of the users. Since a proper gait trainer is not just a technical aid, but even a tool which can help and stimulate the spatial seeking, the depth perception, the curiosity, the social interaction, the school performances, in other words, the cognitive skills, the early intervention can be really very effective. 2 years ago, in Pittsburgh, United States, and in Buenos Aires, Argentina, during the International Sitting Symposium and the Latin American Sitting Symposium, we presented a paper about this kind of connection. We can learn something about this topic watching a short video and listening a couple of parents talking about how social interaction are so important for their kid and how Grillo has allowed this. The kid in the video is 11 years old and he is from Switzerland. Although he is affected by cerebral palsy, Raul, this is his name, has an incredibly active life, attending school, playing soccer, riding horses, riding tricycles, and ice skating with Grillo, and so on. Let's find out more.
My name is Pierre, I'm the founder of Raul.
My name is Nadia, I'm the mother of Raul.
Raul is 9.5 years old, so he was born in 2010, and he was born 2 months earlier than the expected date. With 1 year old, he was diagnosed by the doctors that he has cerebral palsy. So he's not able to walk properly like a normal kids. About 2 years ago, we have been joining a congress where we have found the Grillo. Our daily routine has improved very much because with the Grillo he is almost like another kid, so he can enjoy himself whatever he wants to do. With the Grillo he has also the possibility to sit on the Grillo when he gets tired. Yeah, he has the possibility to stand, to walk, to run, whatever he wants to do. Let's say with the Grillo, this is possible. I think he's very happy. He likes him because I think this is giving him the freedom and, or let's say, the liberty to do whatever he wants to do and to reach, let's say, whatever he wants to reach. Yeah. So without Grillo, it would be difficult. So I think the Grillo is a device that, you know, there is no limitation. Yeah, you can use him on the street, you can use him under the shower, you can use him on the ranch, as example, when he is together with his horse. You know, he can move, let's say, and socialize with all the other people on the ranch. Yeah, in school, I think it's important to him. So normally, when you have a kid that is only sitting the whole day because he cannot properly stand, he doesn't have, let's say, the level of eyes is on the same level like the other kids.
Ich finde es ganz toll, dass er seinen Grillo hat, genau wie die anderen Kinder. In der Pause kann er zu den anderen Kindern hingehen und kann mit ihnen sprechen oder ein Spiel machen. Eine Stunde in der Woche ist Raoul im Gym dabei. Wir machen Spiele zu zweit und das andere Kind hilft Raoul. Es hält ihn am Grillo und hilft ihm beim Rennen und beim Gehen.
You can use it anywhere.
Okay.
Like a suitcase you take with you. You have to think, oh, can I put it in a car? Can I go to the holidays? Have I put away the other things he need? You can manage it.
He is part of the society with the Grillo. Raoul is part of the society, so he is not excluded, so he's included because, you know, he's walking maybe different than somebody else, but he's part of the social life.
So these are the incredible opportunities that the right and proper gait trainer can give to children. And Grillo is the best choice you can do to make the user's walking simpler and more effective. Discover the world of Grillo and try it. You'll find out the differences. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you soon in your country. Cheers.